I have some friends who say if cooking does not involve a microwave, then they don't know how to cook. Well, guys, if you fall into that category, today's recipe is for you. I am going to show you how to make a gluten-free, microwavable flax meal crepe. And whether you live in a college dorm or you've been cooking for years, this is something that you can cook up really quickly, all in a microwave. Here's how to do it. So today's recipe is actually inspired by this book. There is a recipe in here for a flaxseed wrap, and I put my own touches on it. But this is a book about going gluten-free. I picked it up about a year ago in a bookstore for $1, and I got to say, it's the best dollar that I've ever spent. I can literally say that this book and going gluten-free has changed my life, because I didn't realize that the migraines that I was getting was because of a gluten intolerance that I never knew I had. So all that to say, about a year ago, I went gluten-free. I feel amazing, and that's kind of my own story. But whether you're gluten-free or you're just looking for an alternative to wheat or just something new to try, these flax meal wraps are really great. They can be used as either a wrap or a crepe. They come together in minutes, and it's all done in a microwave. So as the name implies, a flax meal crepe is made from, you got it, flaxseed meal. And all this is just ground up flax seeds. This is common in stores. You can find flaxseed meal usually in the baking section or next to the flours, and it doesn't cost very much. Also for this recipe, we're going to use some baking powder. You probably have this on hand, 1 egg, salt, and some vegetable oil. So I'll list all these ingredients in the description, but it is so simple. So for 1 crepe or wrap, we're going to use 3 tablespoons of flaxseed meal. After I open a bag, I like to keep it in a airtight jar just like this. Then we're going to use a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Just kind of whisk this up. I also like to put a little bit of salt. Now the beauty of this is that just like any crepe, this could be savory or sweet. So if you wanted to make it sweet, you could use cinnamon, you could use sugar, and if you wanted to make it savory, you could use garlic powder, onion powder, even like a smoked paprika to give it a nice earthiness. But I'm just going to let this be your blank canvas. We're also going to use 1 egg, 1 tablespoon of water, and then 1 tablespoon of oil. Now in the Wheat Belly book, the author calls for using a tablespoon of coconut oil, and coconut oil works great on this as well, but I realize not everybody has coconut oil just lying around the house. So vegetable oil works great, so does just a tablespoon of melted butter. Now we're just going to whisk this together. And this is going to form our flax meal batter. And that's basically all there is to it. Now to cook this in a microwave, you're just going to need a microwave-safe dish or a basic pie pan, like a ceramic pan like this Corningware, or even a plastic one. Obviously not metal since you're doing this in the microwave. So we're going to grease this pan really quick. And by greasing, all that really means is putting a little bit of oil on the pan, and just taking your fingers and coating that pan. There you go. We just greased this pie plate. Now we're going to take our batter and pour it right onto the plate. And this is what it looks like before cooking. Now we're just going to put this in the microwave and cook it for about 2.5 to 3 minutes. I'm going to start at 2.5 minutes. if you're making these in batches, and they're so good that you probably will, what you can do is while one crepe is cooking in the microwave, you can make the batter for the next. Okay, it's been 2.5 minutes. Let's check our crepe. And here we go. We have this beautifully cooked flax meal crepe. Now, we want to let this cool for a bit before we take it off the plate. So I'm just going to set it down and let it cool for about a minute or two. Okay, our crepe is cool enough to handle, and letting it rest for just a little bit also helps it be less sticky to the pan. So I'm just going to slip a spatula right underneath, and see, it lifts right off. So if you're making these in batches, what I like to do is kind of put them on some parchment paper and just kind of layer them. If you're not going to eat them immediately, you can refrigerate them for several days. Now, just like any ordinary crepe, you can either roll this up and use it as a wrap. You could put fillings in it like sandwich fillings or peanut butter or Nutella or something delicious like that. But the way I like to eat these is kind of like a pancake, just flat. So here's how I like to eat my flax meal crepes. I'm a sucker for eating these in the morning or as kind of a dessert. So what I like to do is just drizzle some honey right on this, and then a little bit of whipped cream. This makes me happy, and I think it'll make you happy too. So it's so happy that it's smiling back at you. Okay, the only thing left to do is to give this a try. Now, flax meal is actually really nutritious. It's packed with a lot of vitamins and nutrients, and it's got a lot of fiber in it too. So I've got a piece with some honey here and some whipped cream, of course. And it's so good. It's different from a normal crepe, where a normal wheat crepe is going to be kind of fluffy and tender. This is more chewy. This is denser, and you can just tell that it has more nutrients. It's kind of nutty too. And again, the beauty about these is you can use this batter as a canvas. Again, you can make it savory with a little extra like onion powder. You can make it sweeter. It's really your call, just like any batter. Now, technically, this can be wrapped. I found that it's a little too rigid to really stay wrapped, but you can always experiment with the batter and the ratio, but technically you can wrap this up. You can just kind of fold it like this, and then you have basically a wrapped crepe. Delicious. So that is how to make a gluten-free flax meal wrap in your microwave. You don't even need a stove to make this. So for you folks who have been saying, hey, I only use a microwave to cook, here is something that you can make. No stove required, and it only takes a couple minutes. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you found this useful. If you did, please give this video a like, and please subscribe for future easy cooking recipes. And if you have a question about something in the kitchen, or there's a recipe you want to learn, put that in the comments below, and maybe I'll get to it on a future episode. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.